Hey guys, today I'm going to show you the free plugins and free instruments I use to make lo-fi music. I'm going to go over every track and not just put a lo-fi preset on the mix bus. First, I'm going to show you the instruments I used for the beat. And just to save time, I've already tracked out each sound to audio, which are muted for the time being. I used MPC beats to make my drum pattern. I used the Dirty Drummer Taser kit, which is a free third-party MPC expansion kit that have sounds ideal for lo-fi beats. For the bass, I use Funk Bass by Audiolatry. This free virtual instrument have 4 sections, which includes attack, release, drive, distortion, modulation, filter, glide, and more. For this track, I use the BS Low preset, and later on in the video, I'll show the plugins I used to change the sound. The next free instrument is Dirty E Piano by Sample Science. This instrument have parameter knobs for ADSR, modulation, filter, distortion, delay, chorus, and reverb. I used the default sound since it already have the warm sound I was looking for. Guys, keep in mind when making lo-fi music, you want to use chord progressions with a nostalgic feel to it. If you're not familiar with music theory, there are plenty of free lo-fi MIDI packs you can use. Next, I used the 1928 vintage Grand Steinway piano by SoundPaint. This free virtual instrument have a unique interface that gives you the ability to add 4 layers of different sound. In addition to that, you can use the rack effects and arpeggio sections to further manipulate the piano. Hey guys, just a reminder, later in the video are the plugins I used to give the beat its lo-fi sound, so stick around to hear the difference in sound for each instrument. Next, I use Eat the Real Earth, which is part of the free Contact Play series. This instrument have some really nice warm pads, strings, and atmospheric sounds that can be used in lo-fi tracks. Next up is Arctic Dreams by Electronic Sound Lab. This free instrument have amp envelope, filter, modulation, distortion, delay, and reverb parameters. For this beat, I used a preset called First Times, which have a saturated piano sound with a long sustain. Hey guys, if you've watched this far, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification button to be alerted for newly released videos. Okay guys, last but not least, I used the Monster Sex by Adis Hardiman. This free saxophone plugin features an articulation mixer with legato, bending notes, short notes, staccatos, minor trill, major trill, and growl for parameter control. Okay guys, I'm going to deactivate these tracks and enable the audio tracks that were bounced from the virtual instruments. You'll hear a difference in sound because I have plugins enabled on each audio track. Okay guys, in the first insert slot for the kick track, I use Tape Cassette tuned by Calum Audio. This free tape plugin has saturation, low pass, noise, wow, flutter, and output control knobs. Tape Cassette 2 have quite a few presets, and in this instance I use the Lofi preset for the kick drum. Next insert slot, I use Fet Drive by Analog Obsession. I use this free plugin to shape the tone and saturate the kick a little more. In the next slot, I use Slamp Up by Beat Skills. This free compressor plugin can add bite or bark to your audio. In this instance, I use this plugin to add a little more bite to the kick. Next up is the snare track, and in the first slot, I use Tape Cassette 2. In the second insert slot, I use Console by Analog Obsession. This British 73 2-band EQ have track and bus modes. You can also switch between gray tube, blue transistor, or black op amp. In the third slot, I use dB Comp by Analog Obsession. This free compressor plugin emulates the DB160 compressor, which is widely used to add punch and snap on drums, kicks, and snares. Okay guys, next up is the hi-hats track, and in the first insert slot I use Tape Cassette 2. In the second insert slot I use Console EQ again. However, in the third slot I use Free Comp by Vin Audio. This free compressor have attack, release, ratio, threshold, input, output, gain, and a real-time visual signal display. In the fourth insert slot, I use Dear VR Micro by Dear Reality. This free plugin features full 360-degree panning and does more than your ordinary stereo panner. Okay, let's move on to the bass track. In the first insert slot, I use Tape Cassette 2 again. In the second slot, I use Pultec EQ by Analog Obsession, which is an emulation of the Pultec EQ. As you can see, I use this free plugin to boost the low end at 60 Hertz to give it a little more bottom. In the next insert slot, I use Leveling Tool by ADHD Audio Tools. This tube leveling amplifier is ideal for compressing vocals. However, it can be used on instruments as well. It has attack, release, ratio, gain, peak reduction, dry wet mix, and a drive knob for adding saturation. In the next insert slot, I use M Equalizer by Melda Production. I used a low pass filter to about 260 Hertz and a peak dip at about 164 Hertz to filter the bass. In the last slot, I use Saturation Knob by Softtube. This free saturation plugin can be used to fatten up basses, add harmonics to vocals, or smash drums. Next up is the electric piano track, and in the first insert, I use Tape Cassette 2. As you can see, I use this plugin in the first slot of all instruments to initiate warmth for this beat. In the next slot, I use Channel EV by Analog Obsession. This free plugin is an emulation of a classic Neve channel strip, and in this instance, I use the equalizer and compressor only. Hey guys, just a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification button to be alerted for newly released videos. Okay guys, next is the piano track. Tape Cassette 2 is instantiated in the first slot, and in the second insert, I'm using Blend EQ by Analog Obsession. This free plugin can be used to blend an American EQ and British EQ together in parallel form to get smooth or punchy results. this next slot, I use SPE Comp by Analog Obsession. This free plugin is a S-type console compressor mostly used on the bus track. However, it can be used on single audio tracks as well. Okay guys, for the saxophone track, in the first insert I use tape cassette 2 for some saturation. In the second insert I use Slick EQ by Tokyo Dawn Records. This EQ have 3 filter bands with additional 18 dB high pass filter. Although this free plugin may look basic, it packs some powerful features and is very effective. In the third insert, I use micro DR for placement of the saxophone to where I wanted it to be positioned. Okay guys, for the pads, their instrument, I use tape cassette 2 and blend EQ in the first 2 inserts like I did in the previous track. However, in the third insert, I use TDR Molotov by Tokyo Dawn Labs. This versatile free compressor plugin can be used to add color or impact to your audio. Okay everyone, for the last instrument, which is the Arctic piano string, I use tape cassette 2, kilohertz 3-band EQ, and Molotov compressor. Okay guys, last but not least, let's go over the mix bus channel, and in the first insert, I use Chow Tape Model by Chowder DSP. This free plugin emulates a reel-to-reel tape machine which features 4 main sections. These sections have core parameters such as gain, filters, tape degrade, loss, flutter, and wow. For this beat, I will go through several presets, some which are lo-fi. In the second insert, I use Buster SE by Analog Obsession. This free classic console compressor plugin is an emulation and it is comparable to the paid version of competitors. In the third insert, I used OAQ by Analog Obsession. I put this EQ on the mix bus chain to dip the 12K frequency range just a bit. In the fourth insert, I use Kotelnikov Compressor by TDR. This free mastering compressor plugin is a wideband dynamics processor which has features suitable for stereo bus compression. Okay Okay guys, now I'll go through some presets from Child Tape Model so you can hear the different variations of that lo-fi sound. Guys, be mindful of drastic volume changes as I switch to different presets. Keep the volume on your listening device at a moderate level. Hey guys, one more thing. If you want to add that old record feel, use Isotopes Vinyl, which is a free plugin. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell to be alerted for newly released videos.